Good morning, everyone. We are here for our 13th session. Good morning, everyone. We are here for our 13th session given by Dr. Neeraj Kumar Mishra. Dr. Neeraj Kumar Mishra belongs to the city of Lucknow, the capital of Uttar Pradesh, was historically known as Awadh region. He is working as an associate professor at Bharat Institute of Engineering and Technology, Hyderabad. He also serves various responsibilities like department in charge, MTech coordinator, R&D in charge, and NAAC C3 in charge at BIT Hyderabad. He did BTech from his Integral University Lucknow in 2008, post-graduation first class with distinct from Amity University in 2012. He did full-time PhD under Teaching Education Quality Improvement Program, Government of India and World Bank Fellowship from Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Technical University in the area of nanoelectronics in the year 2017. He has more than 11 years of teaching and industry experience. He has published 10 Indian international patents, 3 international patent grants. He has published more than 50 research publications including SCI, SCOPUS, UGC, and IET Inspect, as well as reputed conference, etc. He has published 8 SCI papers in Springer, Elsewhere, World Scientific, Taylor and Francis, and IET. 15-book chapter, Journal of Computer Hardware Engineering, USA, Journal of Modern Electronics Technology from Synergy Publishing, Information Engineering and Applied Computing. He received Best Research Award by Rula International Awards under the Quantum Computing in year 2019. And he has also received Best Younger Achiever Award in 2019 by Institute for Scholars. Under his supervision, 12 MTech and 1 PhD ongoing students completed degree. He has received the Best Paper Award in International Conference on Advancement in Signal Processing and Integrated Networks at Amity University, Noida. In 2011, he has the member of International Research Society such as IEEE, ISTE, World Research Council, IAENG, and IAE. He has received sanction-funded projects from AICTE, ISTE, Refresher Program in the computing in the year 2021 to 22 with amount of rupees 3 lakh as the role of coordinator. His research interests are in quantum computing, reversible computing, fault tolerance, circuit architecture, QCA technology, nanomagnetic logic, DFT, and low power and reliability aware VLSI circuits. Now, I would like to call Dr. Neeraj Kumar Mishra for proceeding for the session. Welcome, sir.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Very nice introduction, and thank you to all the coordinator who was directly involved in this event. And I also thankful to the coordinator who is inviting to me as an expert lecture in the area of quantum computing. So, okay, fine. So I am just introduce about myself. I am Dr. Neeraj Kumar Mishra, and I am the associate professor at Bharat Institute of Engineering and Technology, Hyderabad. So today I am discuss about the technology that is quantum technology. Just wait, I will share our slide. So today's session is actually based on some basic concept of quantum technology, and okay, so I think my screen is visible. So actually, in my talk, I more focus on the reversible logic technology. Okay, and not only the reversible logic technology, I also cover the QCA part. Okay, how to design the physical circuits in some layout level. So this is our talk. So today I discuss the power loss concept, and I also discuss the reversibility concept. Okay, so this is my agenda of the today lecture. So first I discuss what is a computing. Okay, what is a computing, and then I go to discuss the logic circuits, and then I discuss the CMOS technology, and then I go to the some experimental view like Schrodinger cat experiment, and then I discuss the qubit concept, and then I go to the reversible logic concept, and then we move to the quantum circuits. Then we go for the programming language. So IBM is the platform. IBM is the platform. In this platform, you design some quantum circuits, and you also check the probability. Okay, what is the probability of your input log of your output logic? So that is totally experimental based. Okay, just 1 minute, I share. Okay, so IBM, we are discuss about the IBM quantum lab software. Okay, there is a online platform, and then I go to discuss the some quantum circuits implementation in the IBM software. And okay, then I also cover the QCA Pro part. Sir has discussed now what how to find out the power of QCA circuits. So you are very much familiar about the QCA. QCA is a quantum dot cellular automata. So this is my flow of the presentation. So this topic I cover in my during presentation. So okay, so first my talk is the computing. What is actually computing? So in previous time, the computing actually we use a vacuum tube, okay, to perform the computation. So this is all a device to perform the computation, like some input, and then you get some logical output. But the main problem is that they are not very efficient, because the size is a more factor, because the size is very high. Okay, size is very high. You see in this diagram, this is consume a whole room. Okay, so this device actually consume a more area. That is the problem in the vacuum technology. Okay, now after that the silicon technology come in the market. So the silicon technology is more efficient. They are very less size. Okay, and so silicon technology is more faster as compared to vacuum technology, like 100 times it is
Neeraj,
faster. Yes.
Neeraj
Yes,
sir,
ma'am.
slides are not
Hello.
visible. Your slides are not visible, sir.
Okay, just 1 minute, ma'am. I will solve this problem.
Okay, sir.
Slides are visible. Now it is visible.
No, sir.
No,
Sir.
slides are. Okay, just wait. I solve this problem. Okay, again I share our slide. Okay, now it is visible. Slide is visible.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Perfect.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, fine. So I think my voice is also audible.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, fine.
Sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
again, I repeat what I have discussed now. So in today lecture, I discussed the reversibility concept, and I also covered the IBM Composer, IBM Lab software, and here we design some quantum circuits, and then we check the probability of the outcomes, and then I cover the QCA Pro part. Using the QCA Pro, how to check the power or everything, the parameters, I will discuss. Okay, so this is my agenda. All this my agenda. First, I go to the era of the computing, and then I discuss the integrated circuit. What is application of integrated circuit? And then I cover the CMOS technology, and why CMOS technology is not fulfill our criteria. Means here there is some drawbacks in the CMOS technology, and that's why we are moving to the nanotechnology approach, like quantum technology or some reversible technology. And then I cover the reversible circuits, and then I go to the IBM Quantum Composer, like a Qiskit software. So this part is also covered in this in during the lecture. I cover this part, Qiskit, how to program the quantum circuits in the IBM Composer software, and then how to check the probability of the outcomes. And then I discussed the QCA Pro part, how to find out the powers, because you have designed some layout in the QCA Designer software, and then how to extract some parameters like a power consumption or everything. So we are using the software that is QCA Pro software. Okay, fine. So now first I discuss the computing. What is the era of the computing? So actually, computer in the previous time, the computer use a vacuum technology. So vacuum tube technology, the problem is this is not more efficient, and the size of the device is very large. You see in this diagram, the in this whole room, the computer has consumed the area. So the size of the device is very large. That is a problem in the vacuum technology. Now after that, the silicon technology come in the market, and this silicon technology is 100 times more faster than vacuum technology. Now this time silicon technology is all the devices are using the silicon technology. But again, there is some advancement is possible. So you see, this is a chip. That is a chip is quantum chip. So actually, what is a quantum computer? First, this is the first question. So quantum computer is a machine which can essentially solve a problem a lot faster than current classical computer, because in the classical computer we are not performing a more computation speed. Okay, so this is a problem in the conventional technology, but quantum technology solve your problem in a very fast manner. So actually the quantum computer is actually scan entire space and give a solution in a fraction of second. So by using quantum technology, we are using some methods like entanglement. Okay, I will also cover this part, what is the entanglement. And then I also discuss the superposition. Okay, superposition. And then I discuss the tunneling. Okay, what is the tunneling in quantum computing? So based on these all these features, the quantum systems or quantum machines are more efficient as compared to conventional computer. Okay, so we know the integrated circuit, the IC technology is involved in everywhere. Like if you talk about the computing device, like computer or mobile, or your control system like aircraft, or some IC like line of chip, and some image processing like camera, or IoT, or web of communication field like data communication or network. Everything IC technology is involved to compute your signal, or you control your signal, or your propagate your signal. So IC is more popular nowadays. Now we come to the CMOS technology. So here you see the graph. The CMOS technology is here. Now if you go to the latest technology or emerging technology, there is many new technology in the market, like a neuromorphic computing. So what is a neuromorphic computing? The neuromorphic computing is a method of computer in which the elements of the computers are modeled in such a manner like your system as a human brain, or like a human brain. They decides the expected output a very efficient manner. And also there is some other technology like a spintonics. So spintonics is based on the spin transistor, that is known as a spin transistor. Okay, spin transistor electronics. This is an area, spin transistor electronics. So actually in the spintonics, both charge and the spin of electron are utilized. Okay, what I am say, the charge and the spin. Spin means direction, maybe upside or downside. So based on these two property of the electron, you have to utilize some function, maybe some logical functions. So that is the spintonics. And many other things are there, like adiabatic technology or quantum technology. So this is our agenda on the today lecture. In the today lecture, I more focus on the quantum technology. Okay, and you are aware about the CNT, like carbon nanotube. So carbon nanotube tube is based on the carbon molecules and the dimension in the nanometer scale. So that is also a nanotechnology approach to design some nanoscale circuits. Okay, so we discuss more about the quantum technology in this lecture. Okay, so here actually the in the CMOS technology, the problem is that if you see the device, there is a this is your gate terminal, and this is your source terminal, and this is your drain terminal. So in between source and drain, there is a medium. That is, medium is a channel. Okay, so this medium is known as a channel. So in channel, actually, you have to flow your electron. So gate is a controlling device. So based on the forward bias or reverse bias voltage, you have to control the current. But the problem, if you reduce the channel, that means your device size may be small. Okay, the device size may be lower down. But what is the limitation of to reduce the channel length? There is a limitation, like below 5 nanometer or 4 nanometer, it is not possible to further reduce the channel length, because the device, if you reduce the channel length below 5 nanometer, then the device is not perform very well. So now we are searching, or we are go in the new technology to minimize the size of the device. So the quantum technology or reversible technology in this manner is more effective. So what is a quantum revolution? Now the India builds big on quantum technology. So this is a big area of the research. So quantum technology, here our finance minister has given more fund, like 80 billion rupees, or if we talk about US dollar, that is 1.12 billion. They are given a 5-year program. So government is investing this money in to improve the quantum technology or upgrade our quantum technology in India. So this is a very good opportunity for all of the people to develop this quantum technology, because government is also supposed to provide a fund in this area. And then you do some projects like DST projects, or some AICT or some UGC. Many projects are there in the market. So okay, fine. Now here in the academic level, many research lab that is based on the quantum technology is already developed. So we say that IIT Madras or IIT Kharagpur or IISER Kolkata or IIT Noida, they are working in the basic science. And now in the computing domain, the IIT Bombay also set up some labs, very good research labs, and ISC Bangalore and TIFR Mumbai. And in the quantum communication domain, the IIT Delhi, IIT Madras, and RRI Bangalore are already set up a very good experiment, or they are already completed some very good projects. In the sensing device, in the quantum sensing device, the Pune and Bangalore, the IISER is leading now. Okay, so this is the whole scenario in the market. What are in academics? What institute or academic institutes are leading in which domain? So this is the actual representation here. Okay, so this is a Schrodinger cat experiment. So what is the quantum technology? So that concept come here in this experiment. Okay, so this is the actual closed box. This is a closed box. So in this closed box, there is a cat. This is a cat, and in this tube there is a radioactive material. Okay, and this is a hammer. So actually, I am only interested to measure the two probability. One thing is that the cat is live or death. So there is a two possibility. The first possibility is the hammer go down, and this bottle knock is open, and then radioactive material come outside, and the cat is dead. Okay, and another thing is that one more possibility is that if the hammer is on the same position, and this glass is totally locked, there is no radioactive material in outside, then the cat is live. Okay, so we do not know what is the situation inside the box. So cat may be live or cat may be cat may be dead. So this is the probability, because in the conventional computer you give only two output. Then there is a live or death. But what is the other situation? Because many things are because in the other situation is also possible. So here we are only checking the probability. Based on the probability concept, you have to accurately measure all these measurement. In every time you get your output, but in the conventional system or conventional computer system, you do not get any output. Okay, but in this quantum technology, you have to measure all these output in every time. Okay, so every time you measure your cat is live or died or death. So that is something concept like superposition or entanglement. We come to this point also. Okay, so we know the problem in the transistors, like the channel length, because we are shrinking the device, but we are not capable to shrink the device. So that's why the power consumption is a critical factor in the silicon technology or the CMOS technology. So that's why your computing system, you do not fabricate more number of device in a small area, because we are follow the Moore law, because every 18 years your transistors or your device will maybe double in this particular area. So we are not capable to satisfy this concept. Now we come to the qubit. So we know the qubit is the unit of measurement of quantum technology, because in the conventional system or in the digital system we are only measure the bits. So maybe 0 or maybe 1, but here all the information are measured by the qubit. Okay, so qubit is a measurement device in the quantum technology. So now here many companies are now already developed some quantum computers, and they are, suppose that the Google has developed the 72 qubit quantum computing device, and the IBM is also going very fast. Like they developed the 53 qubit quantum computer device. Now IBM has promised that the future goal of the IBM is they develop a quantum computer. They compute a 1000 qubit. Okay, so here number of inputs or number of qubits are more in 2023. So that is the future goal of the IBM. Okay, so there is many companies here. Many companies are working in this quantum technology, like IBM, okay, Intel, Microsoft, Atom Computer, and Zapato Computing. So all these computings are already exist in the market, and they already develop a very mature quantum technology. Now this is all classical gates. We are very much familiar about all these classical gates. So in all the classical gates, you see there is a inputs, but output is only one. Okay, output is only one. Now what is the motivation of quantum computing? So the quantum computing is actually use a reversible gate. Okay, reversible gates. So reversible gate, what is a reversible gates? Reversible gates means you have not lose any information during the computation process. If you apply some logical bits, of course you get output, but you have to recover your all the inputs information. But in the conventional systems like digital computer system, that is not possible to recover all the logical information. So that's why here, if a single bit information you are losing in your computing system, that means your KTLN2 energy dissipated in your system. Okay, so this is suppose that in your logical system like AND gate, because if you apply two input A and B, and your output is Y. So if your input is 0, 1, so you know what is my output. Output is 0. But if your output is 0, you do not know what is my input, because maybe there is a two possibility. Maybe input is 1, 0, or maybe input is 0, 0. There is a three possibility. Okay, so you have erased all the information during the computation process. So that's why this AND gate is a irreversible system. This is not a reversible system. Okay, because here you are you get a output, but you have to lose all the information. Suppose that you are losing 3 bits. Okay, you do not know what is my inputs. So suppose that you 2 bits are there, because this is a 2 input device. So your energy loss is 2 kT ln2. Okay, this energy is consumed in your system. But reversible computing, they are not dissipated any energy, because here you have to recover all the inputs information. So in the reversible computing device, we are using a quantum gates. I will tell you there is a many type of gate, like a single qubit or a multiple qubit. We will cover in the next slide. We will cover what are the quantum gates. Now the quantum technology is a reversible technology, because in the quantum circuits we are using a reversible gate only. So how to check the performance of quantum circuits? Maybe your gate count, garbage output, or quantum cost. Okay, so we know all the irreversible system, they dissipate more than kT ln2 energy. And if your information is n bit, so you multiply this factor by n. So your energy is more. Okay, the energy dissipation is more if the number of inputs are more. So this is the constraints in the irreversible system. And now we come to the CMOS technology. We know the CMOS is a combination of PMOS and NMOS transistor. So here we are using a 2 device to design a CMOS circuits. So if you talk about the CMOS technology, this is your CMOS inverter. This is a simply PMOS and this is NMOS. So both the device consume half CV square energy. Okay, so if the number of MOS transistor is more, so you have to multiply this n. So this is also very high, because if you calculate this value, this is also greater than kT ln2. That means this is not a fulfill. We have not fulfill our criteria, because we are thinking about the energy loss is 0. But in the irreversible system, your energy loss is 0, because here we are not not erase any information. That's why the reversible system has 0 energy dissipation. Okay, so we come to this Landauer barrier. So in 2010, after 10, this is a barrier. If you cross this barrier, that means you are go in the low power device. But here your situation is this: if you are working in the silicon transistor or CMOS technology, you are not crossing this barrier. So quantum technology, if you use the latest technology like quantum technology based system or circuits, then you come in this Landauer barrier. This is a lower limit of the power consumption. Okay, so now we come to this point. What is a qubit? Okay, qubit is the measurement of the measurement unit of quantum computing device. So here all the qubits, suppose that your qubit is 0 and 1. Okay, all the qubits are associated with some scalar quantity vector, maybe alpha or beta. So if you measure these two quantity, like 0 qubit or 1 qubit, every time the superposition theorem, this is a superposition concept, this is a superposition, means both the qubits are associated together. And we are measuring the alpha and beta value, which probability is high, then you expect my output maybe 0 or maybe 1 qubit or 1 qubit. So always this square value is always 1. Okay, if you square these two scalar quantity vector, that is always 1. So okay, so you are very much familiar with technology. And okay, fine. Now if you talk about the like 0 qubit or 1 qubit, okay, suppose that 0 qubit, so in the matrix form the representation is 1 0, and similarly if your qubit is 1, the matrix form representation is 0 and 1. Okay, so fine. Okay, so reversible, how to design the reversible circuits? I already tell you in the reversible technology there is no information loss. So if we suppose that this is your system, this is your input and this is your output. So all the inputs are uniquely associated to the output. So there is a one-to-one mapping is there. Okay, unique output vector. Suppose that if we talk about the like your okay, I will come to this point. Okay, fine. This is a reversible circuit. So this is C naught gate. Okay, this is C naught gate. This is a control point. This is your control point, and this is your target qubit. Okay, target qubit. So here actually this is the truth table of this C naught gate. So how to say this C naught gate is reversible circuit? So you just see here your input is 0 0, and your output pattern in output pattern this 0 0 is repeated only one time. Similarly, your input is 0 1, and in your output pattern this pattern 0 1 is repeated only one time. Okay, and if you see the third pattern is 1 0, and this is also repeated one time. So in this output pattern, all the input pattern are repeated only one time. That is the reversible concept. Okay, reversible concept means you have to recover your input informations. So first you satisfy the reversibility truth table. Okay, this is the reversibility truth table. So you have to satisfy in your logical circuits or your quantum circuits, you have to satisfy the reversibility truth table. So reversibility truth table is a one-to-one mapping. Every time you get a one input only one times in your output pattern. Okay, so I am going to discuss now how to recover all these informations. Suppose that my input is 0 0, I assume that this is a symbol A, and my input is 0 1, I assume this is B, and if my input pattern is 1 0, so this is a C symbol. So that is only notation. So now here again I just draw the truth table 0 1 1 0 and 1 1. What is my output? 0 0 1 1. And what is my next output? 0 1 1 0. So actually we just formed the unitary matrix. How to form the unitary matrix? So you just select one pattern. Suppose that I selected the pattern is 0 0, and now we move to 1 by 1. Okay, we just go to 1 by 1 in this output pattern, and you just map. Okay, so 0 0 is mapping to the first position. So that's why in the unitary matrix my first element is 1. But other pattern it is not mapping, because the 0 0 is not mapped to 0 1, because this pattern is different. That's why I return 0. Similarly, in the third position 0 0 is not mapped to 1 1, so I return 0. Okay, so this process is continuous. So your first row is complete. Same thing you follow in the second row, because you select the different pattern 0 1. So 0 1 is mapped to first pattern. 0 0, no, it is not mapped. So that means here you write 0. Okay, so same thing you follow here, and this is the unitary matrix. So this is your unitary matrix, and this is your input pattern. You just multiply the input pattern. So both matrix to be multiplied, and you get the pattern. Okay, your pattern is AB, DC. Okay, so just you check what is my so this is my input pattern, and this is my output pattern. What is my output pattern? ABDC. So we will verify now. So what is my output pattern? 0 0. That means it is A. And what is my 0 1 pattern? That is B. And what is my 1 1 pattern? That is D. And this is 1 0. This pattern is C. That is correct. My output pattern is ABDC. So here you also get this pattern ABDC. So that means if you multiply the input pattern to unitary matrix, you get the output pattern. The reverse process is also possible. If you multiply the unitary matrix to output pattern, you also get input. Okay, so can we check here? So what is my output pattern? ABDC. So we just multiply here. Okay, so what is my first pattern? A. But this is a simple matrix multiplication only. And then B, and you multiply here, that is C, and then XD. So this is your input pattern. Okay, so both is possible. From the input you get the output, from the output you get the input. So that is a reversibility property. Okay, so this is a very famous gate, Toffoli gate, that is CC naught gate. So here two control point, and this is a target qubit. Okay, this is a target qubit. Okay, so this is your unitary matrix. I already tell you, you just form the truth table and you just start the mapping process and you fill the matrix element. Okay, if it is completely mapped, you write 1, or if it is not mapped, you write 0. Okay, so this is a Paris gate. Okay, so now we come to the main point. There is some gates are there, 1 qubit gates. So we will now discuss all the gates. Then we come to the designing part in the IBM Composer software. Okay, so actually 1 qubit gate, what is the 1 qubit gate? The 1 qubit gate may be your Hadamard gate or Z gate or Y or X gate. So I just now just discuss here what is the all these gates. Okay, what is all these gates? Okay, so most famous gate I just discussed now. Suppose that I just discussed the 3 gates, maybe your X gate. So this is your X gate, or this is your Z gate, or this is H gate. So X means this is a NOT gate. Okay, this is a NOT gate. And Z is the gate. Okay, I just write here. The Z gate only change the phase, only change the phase of 1 qubit. Okay, if the qubit is 1, then they change the phase of 1 only. But if your qubit is 0, they do not do anything. So now the H gate is the Hadamard gate. So what is the Hadamard gate? They provide the equal superposition of 0 and 1 qubit. Okay, 0 and 1 qubit. Okay, so now I just apply 2 inputs. Suppose that my input is 0 qubit and my another input is 1 qubit. And I also check the superposition here, if both qubits are superimposed together. So this is a condition. Okay, I taken a 3 condition. In first condition, if my input is 0, so what is my output? If you apply X gate, suppose that my X gate is there. If your input is 0 qubit, so what is the output? Okay, so what is my output? Because X gate is the NOT gate. So that means here this qubit is changed. Okay, this qubit is changed to 1. Okay, similarly, if my input qubit is 1, and if you apply in the X gate, suppose that this is my X gate, and here if you apply 1 qubit, so you have to, means this pattern is changed. So here you get a 0 qubit output. Okay, okay, now if both the qubits are superimposed together, so anyone can tell me what is the output here, because X is a NOT gate. Okay, anyone just can reply here, what is my output here if both qubits are superimposed together? Okay, so now I just tell here you alpha, now your input qubit is 0, so now it is changed to 1 because this is X is a NOT gate. And beta, now input qubit is 1, now it is changed to 0. So that is my output. Okay, now we come to the second gate. Second gate is the Z gate. So in Z gate, only change the phase of 1. So if the input qubit is 1, they given a negative phase. So that is -1 qubit. Only they are not changing the qubit, they only change the phase or rotation of the qubit. And if the input is 0, because if your Z qubit, if you apply here 0 qubit, they are not do anything. You get the same result. Your output is also 0. Okay, your output is also 0. Because I written here the Z gate only change the phase of 1 qubit. Now if both the qubit are superimposed together, that means it is alpha 0 minus beta 1 qubit, because we know in the 1 qubit the phase is changed, but in 0 qubit there is no change in the phase. Okay, so this is a property, or this is a feature of the Z gate. Now we come to the H gate. H gate is the Hadamard gate. So in Hadamard gate, if you apply the 0 input, so here both superposition of 0 and 1 qubit is possible. Okay, so equal superposition. So 0 qubit plus 1 qubit, both are superimposed together, and this is your output. But in case of 1 qubit, again, okay, they are do the superposition, but the qubit of one phase is changed. So here, that's why I written the minus sign. Okay, that's why I written the minus sign. Okay, because here the equal superpositions are there, but the phase of one is changed in the Hadamard gate. Okay, in case of both the qubit are superimposed together, so your output is alpha plus beta by root 2. And here, if the input is 0, there is no change. Okay, there is no change. Now, if the input is 1, that means this is changed to alpha minus beta by root 2. Okay, and 1. Okay, so this is the output pattern. Okay, this is the output pattern. Okay, so I already tell you the 0 qubit is represented in this form. Okay, so 0 qubit is represented in this form, and the 1 qubit is represented in this form. And if the superpositions are there in both the qubit, so you write alpha 0 qubit plus beta 1 qubit. Okay, so this is all qubit gate. If your 4 qubits are there, suppose that 2 qubits means 4 possibility, 0 0 and 0 1 and 1 0 and 1 1. So 2 qubits means there is a 4 possibility in the qubits. Okay, 4 possibility in the qubits. So how to write 0 0 qubit in the matrix form? Simply first position is 1, other positions are 0. Okay, other position are 0. And in case of 1 0, this is your second pattern. So second pattern means your first position is 0, second position is high, so other position is 0. Okay, so this is the 0 1 representation. Now in case of third state, so that means 2 state is 0 and the third state is high. So this is a representation of 1 0. Now in case of 1 1, in case of 1 1 qubit, this is your fourth position. So your three positions three position input is 0, but last position input is 1. So this is a representation of all the qubits. Okay, this is a representation of all the qubits. Now if you multiply suppose that I taken a very simple example, like 0 qubit and 1 qubit are to be multiplied. Okay, so this is a how to multiply here. This is a tensor product. Okay, this is a tensor product. Okay, so how to multiply 0 qubit and 1 qubit? Okay, I just show here. Suppose that 0 qubit, okay, and 1 qubit, both are multiplied together. So what is the representation of 0? That is matrix form 1 0. And in case of 1, you write 0 1. But this is not a this is a tensor product. So what is my output? So your first pattern, first value is 1, you multiply in this matrix, and your second pattern is 0, you multiply 0 1. So you just check what is my output. Okay, so 1 is multiplied to 0, that is 0, and 1 is multiplied to 1, that is 1, and 1 is multiplied to 0, that is 0, and 1 is multiplied to 1, that is 1. So this is your pattern. Okay, this is your pattern. Okay, so first input is 0, first is position is 0, second is 1 0 1. So this is the multiplication of 0 and 1 qubit. Okay, so we know all this work. Now we come to the IBM quantum computer quantum lab. So we discuss this software QSkit. Okay, so this is online software. In the online software, you just write some code, and automatically you get the some quantum circuits. So now we move to this point. Okay, so in the Google, you just write the command. Okay, so in the Google, you just write the command, that is IBM Quantum Experience. Okay, so I just open the Google. So I request to all the audience, you also try. Okay, you also try. Okay, so in the Google, you just write the IBM Quantum Experience. Okay, you just write IBM Quantum Experience. So now this is a site. You just click on this website. So here two things are there. One in the left side, that is IBM Quantum Composer. Another is IBM Quantum Lab. So I just give overview about this. IBM Quantum Composer is a GUI based quantum circuit representation. So here you just design the quantum circuit based on the GUI. But in the IBM Quantum Lab, you write some quantum assembly language, and then you get the quantum circuits. Okay, so I will discuss both this part in this presentation. So first I go the IBM Quantum Lab. So here there is an option that is Launch Lab. Okay, you just click on this Launch Lab. So after that, you just sign in. Sign in option is there. So sign in maybe your Google
Sorry,
or
you
your
want-
Facebook.
Sir, whether you can openly you can download it or you want to sign in on that.
Actually, in the QuizKit there is no installation part. You just online platform is there. Okay, because this is developed by IBM, so they not provide the QuizKit software. So this software is developed by IBM. So
Okay.
everything designing part or the writing of the quantum assembly language, everything is possible by the online mode. Okay, everything is
Okay.
possible by the online mode.
And we want to create login. Okay, sir.
You just create the login. So maybe your Gmail account or maybe a Twitter account or some Facebook account, everything is possible. Okay, you just
Okay,
select anyone. So I selected Gmail account, and I open this page. This is my page.
Okay, sir.
So
Thank
after
you.
that, okay, thank you, son. Now the next is you just select the QuizKit. Okay, there is option QuizKit. So if you double click here, then your Jupyter notebook, because here this Jupyter notebook is open. Okay, now in the Jupyter notebook, you have to write some code. Okay, you have to write some quantum circuit code, and then you get a quantum circuit. Okay, after that we are applying some qubit or input, and then you measure your information. Okay, because you know the quantum circuit is totally based on the probability concept. Okay, so the probability, you are measuring the probability of the outcomes. So here actually, if you here you see the first line. This is the library files. All these library files are imported in the Jupyter notebook. So actually here if you there is a two option: you execute line by line, or you select some random line. Okay, that is also possible. Which line you execute? Okay, there is execution is possible by the line by line, or randomly you select any line. Okay, so first step is that you import all the library. So I already imported my all the library, like in my QSkit software, that is a quantum circuits and visualizations library. Okay, and simulator, all these library I imported here. So after that, there is a plus sign. You just click on this plus sign, and then you come back to second line. Okay, come back to the second line. Okay, don't worry. I will give you a slide. You just import this library. Okay, you just copy this line, all this line, and paste in the first line. Okay, so in the first line you paste this all these line. Now the second library is for the probability measurement. Okay, second line is for the probability measurement. Okay, so I just paste here. Okay, so this is all my visualizations. Okay, what is my qubit probability? Okay, that is also visualized by the some graph. Okay, and next line, in the third line you write your code, quantum codes. Okay, so first I discuss the C naught gate. So what is a C naught gate? I just given a small introduction about the C naught gate. Okay, so this is my C naught gate. I just open the slide here. So what is my C naught gate? C naught is the 2 qubit gate. So here two inputs are there. Okay, two inputs are there. Suppose that in the first line my qubit is Q naught, and the second line my qubit is Q1. So this is my dot point, the black dot, this red dot. This represent the control point. Okay, this represent the control point, and this is my target qubit. Okay, target qubit. So here, if your control point is 1, okay, please remember this point. If the control point is 1, then this qubit line value is changed. Suppose that my control qubit is 1, and here you apply the 0 qubit. So you get here opposite value, because control point is 1, then your qubit value is changed. Okay, then your qubit value is changed. But in some other case, in another case, the control point is 0. Suppose that my control point is 0, and here you apply qubit 0. So that means this target value qubit is not changed, it is same. Okay, I already tell you, if the control point is 1, then your target qubit is changed. Otherwise, it is the same value. Okay, so that we done in all the IBM Quantum Composer software. Okay, so we will go for now design the quantum circuits. So I open the Jupyter notebook and I imported the two library. One is for the quantum circuit library, another is the visualization library. And now we write the code in our code. So first you write the code. Suppose that I write QC, okay, QC naught, and here equal to quantum circuit. So in your quantum circuits, how many qubits are there? 2. Okay, Q0 and Q1. So I write 2 here. Okay, then enter. So you come in the next line. Directly you come in the next line. So then I write QC not dot CX. Okay, dot CX means C naught gate. Okay, dot CX means C naught gate. So what is the behavior of the C naught gate? That is analyzed in the quantum library. Okay, so that's why I call this I come in the library, quantum circuit library, and in the quantum circuit library every behavior of the quantum circuit is available. Okay, so that's why I call this library .cx. Now here in the quantum in the C naught gate, how many qubits are there? There is a 2 qubit. So I write 0, 1. If your qubit is 3, you write 0, 1, 2. But I written only here 0, 1. Okay, so then I write C naught QC underscore naught dot draw option. Okay. Okay, draw means that quantum circuit you have to visualize. Okay, that draw option is used to draw the circuit, helps to draw the quantum circuits. Okay, so that is all very small code. And now we come to the next line. And here for the histogram, histogram means what is the probability of your qubits. So for histogram, you just write this command. Okay, you just write this command. Okay, so this is my complete C naught circuit. Okay, so I run this program on the quantum machine. Okay, means I select the IBM Quantum Lab. So IBM has allotted some quantum machine. So in the machine, that program is executed directly. Okay, so this is an online simulator. Okay, so fine, there is a, you go in the run option. So I execute all the lines. So I just click on the run all the lines. Okay, I execute run all the lines. So now you check here, this is my quantum circuits. This is my C0 circuit. Okay, so this is my C0 circuit. Okay, now here actually, okay, you just see here. Maybe visualization is not coming here. I will try to, okay, so just again I run this code. Okay, so okay, fine, I just I come to C0 gate. Okay, so here, okay, I come to this slide. Okay, so what I am doing here in this IBM Composer software, actually first I import the library file, all the library file. Okay, so in the first step, second step, I describe the qubits, what is my qubits, and here I call the CX. What is CX? CX means C0 gate. Okay, and then I write the command dot draw. So this is helpful for the to draw the circuit. Okay, to draw the circuit in a graphical view. Okay, and after that I get some histogram. Histogram means if you write this command, what is the meaning here? Because in the quantum circuits you get a result more accurate if your number of shoots is more. So I select the 1024 number of shoot, or number of times your quantum circuit simulated in the quantum machine. That is more number, then you get an accurate output. Okay, so here I apply the 00 qubit. So what is my expected output? So if the first line qubit is 0, so that means this line is output 0. And if the target, if the control point is 0, that means this target qubit is not changed. So this is always 0. So you see here in your output is 0, 0. So the probability of the output, you get the probability of output, that is 100%. Okay, that is 1, always 1. Okay, so in the next case, what I am doing here I put X gate. So what is my X gate? X is the NOT gate, and this is your C0 gate. So in this another task, in this task, what I am doing here, in the first line, I put qubit 1, and in the second line, I put the qubit 0. So in the first line, I put the qubit 1, and in the second line, I put the qubit 0. So what is my expected output? And this sign is used for measurement. Okay, this sign is actually used for the measurement. Okay, measurement means in this control line, you have to measure the output. So I am looking both the line output. What is my output in both the line? Because my input is 2, output is also 2. Because in the quantum circuits, number of input is equal to number of output. So fine, my first line qubit, okay, so I just, okay, so what I am looking here, I am looking here to measure the output. Okay, I measure to looking the output. So in my experiment, what I am looking here, if my first line qubit is 1, Okay, first line qubit is 1 and second line qubit is 0. So I am looking the output here. What is my output in this line? So I already tell you, if the control point is 1, then the target qubit is changed. So your target qubit is changed here. So your output is 1 1. So you see here in the histogram, this is a histogram. If you write this command, okay, if you write this command in the IBM Quantum Lab, so you get this histogram. So my output 1 1 probability is 100%. Okay, output 1 1 probability is 100%. Okay, so in the next experiment, what I am doing here, in both the line, in the C naught gate, this is my C naught gate. So in both the line I put X gate. In both the line I put NOT gate. Okay, in both the line I put the NOT gate. So by default in this line, your input qubit is 0. By default it is 0. So if you put the NOT gate, you get 1 here, and if you put NOT gate here, you get 1 here. So this is your control point. So again, the control point is 1, your target qubit is changed. So in this line, what is your output you expected? 0. Because this is the control point value is 1. That means the target qubit is always change the value. So here your value is changed. So what is my output? 1 0. So in the histogram, you get the result 1 0. Okay, so this 1 0 probability is 100%. Okay, so that is a measurement. If you measure this value, okay, so for histogram you write this command, okay, and the number of shoots are more, that's why you get 100% probability. If your number of shoots are less, maybe your probability not 100%, maybe it is less. Okay, so again I go for the new gate design like a swap gate. So swap gate is your Fredkin gate. Okay, Fredkin gate. So in swap gate, okay, fine. This is the swap gate. So here, what you write in the previous case, you write QC dot CX, that is C naught gate. But in this case, you write QC dot swap. So that is a library calling. You call you call this swap behavior in the library. What is the behavior of the swap gate? So that's why I call this library QC dot swap. So I return QC dot swap. So again, there is a 2 qubit. So I write 0 1. So if there is a 3 qubit, you write 0 comma 1 comma 2. Okay, but here I only apply 2 qubits. In the swap gate there is a 2 qubit. So I write 0 comma 1. So here find your qubit is already 0 0. Okay, already 0 0. Okay, so that means this okay, so if the input okay, so now we come to this point. If the input initially qubit is 0, initially both the qubit is 0. So here the NOT gate, so that means here the here this output is 1. But in this case, this is actually pass here. Okay, so your output is 1 0, because in the first line output is 1, second line output is 0. So that probability is always 1. Okay, fine. You have to change some condition. Maybe you take other condition like 0 1, or you take 1 1. That depends on you. And every time if you put the NOT gate, so you put this command. In the first line I put the NOT gate. But in the first line you see this is a NOT gate. In second line this is also a NOT gate. So in second line also you write dot x, QC dot x. What is the meaning of here? This is a NOT gate. So I already tell you what is the X gate. X gate is the NOT gate. Okay. So now if you write QC dot X, your first qubit is 0. First qubit means in the first qubit line, you apply the NOT gate. The meaning is that. Okay. The meaning is that if you write QC dot X0, that means in the first line, you apply the NOT gate. Similarly, if you see in the second line, what you write here, QC dot X1. That means in the second line, you apply the NOT gate. That is the meaning of this line. The meaning of this line is QC dot X1. That means you apply the X gate in the second line. Okay. So in both the line, I apply the NOT gate. Okay, so my output in this line is 1, and here your input, okay, if the input, because in this gate there is a swap gate. Swapping means change the value, and you measure the output, you get some histogram. Okay, so many other gates are also there, like I already tell you a 2 qubits gate. Okay, 2 qubit gate, like your C0 gate. Okay, like your swap gate. Now if we come to 3 qubit gate, so this is a 3 qubit gate, and this is a Toffoli gate. Okay, that is CC0 gate. Okay, this is CC0 gate. So how to write the quantum assembly code? So in this time there is a number of qubit is 3, Q0, Q1, Q2. So in the bracket you written 3 because this qubit is 3. Now how many qubits are there? So now first you call the library file qc_not dot. What is your gate? CC0. So you write CCX. Okay, the meaning is that this is your CC0 gate. This is your Toffoli gate. So how many qubits? 0, 1, 2. Because number of qubit is 3. And you just write the draw command. That is draw the quantum circuits. Okay, and you write the measure. Automatically this line, every line you have to measure the output. Okay. Okay, so now again come to here. If we apply the NOT gate here, so in the second line is the representation of the NOT gate, because in the first line I put the NOT gate. Okay, so if the NOT gate here, that means here initially qubit is 0, so again it is qubit is 1. So this is 0 qubit and this is also 0 qubit. So initially all the qubits are 0. So first you understand this point. So now this qubit is 1 and this qubit is 0. Again the multiply of 2 qubits 0. So that means this line, third line qubit is 0. So what is my output? 1, 0, 0. So you check here 1, 0, 0. So this probability is 1. But in the first line you put the NOT gate. So initially in this line the input qubit is 0. That means its value is change. And here there is no gate, so you get the same logic. Now in the third line your input is 0, but both the control point value is 0, because in the first line value is 1, second line value is 0, multiplication is 0. There is no change in this qubit. You get a 0 output. Okay, so other things are also possible. You apply one more NOT gate in the second line. So I written here. This is a representation here. So in the second line I put the NOT gate. In the first line I also write the NOT gate. So CCX means CC NOT gate. So this is all the means quantum assembly language. But sometimes people are not very interested to write the code. So there is GUI facilities also there in the IBM Quantum Lab. So you just go in the composer look in the first option. So in the composer look, you get all the things, all the circuits in the GUI based. Okay, so again I just delete all the things and I design a simple C0 gate. So that is a GUI based. Okay, that is GUI based. Okay, you also try. So suppose that here my Q0 and Q1, there is a 2 line. Okay, so in the first line, so there is in the top side, this is all gates, all the quantum gates. So H means Hamard gate, and this is your NOT gate, and this is your C0 gate, and this is your CC0 gate, that is Toffoli gate, and this is a swap gate, and this is identity gate. They do not do anything. And T gate, S gate, Z gate, okay, and this is a conjugate gate. And this is a qubit, 0 qubit, and this is a measurement, and this is some square root gate. So this is all in the library, all the gates are there. We just drag and drop option here. Drag and drop means you just drag the quantum gates in your line, and you have to measure the output. So in the bottom side, there is a probability graph. Okay, and you have to measure the output. Okay, and here in the right side, the amplitude level, you also check the magnitude of the of your inputs. So okay, I will go now. So I designed the C0 gate. I just drag and drop here. Okay, this is my C0 gate. So initially I put the all qubits. Okay, by default all my qubits are 0, so I just put drag and drop here. In my all qubits are 0. The first qubit is 0, second qubit is also 0. Okay, fine. So what is my expected output? Because if the first qubit line is 0, that means the second qubit line is not changed. So what is my output? 0 0. So in the probability graph, you see here the 0 0 probability is 100%. But other qubit, because if the input is 0 0, qubit is 0 0, there is a 4 possibility, like 0 0, 0 1, 1 0, and 1 1. But here you get the output is 0 0. That means this state vector probability is high. So here the 0 0 probability is high, but the other qubit probability is 0. Your 0 1 probability is 0, 1 0 probability is 0, and 1 1 probability is 0. Okay, so that is the that is your result. And if you change, if you write some if you create a GUI, automatically your codes is in the on the right side, that is your quantum assembly code, that is automatically changed. Okay, so do not worry about this. You just create your GUI and automatically your quantum assembly code is ready. Otherwise, if you are very much familiar about this language and you write the code and you see the change in the GUI. So both vice versa is possible. Based on the GUI, you get the quantum assembly language code. Otherwise, you change the quantum assembly language, you write the quantum assembly language code and you get the GUI. Both things are possible. Now the second experiment, in the first line, I put the NOT gate. So this is my NOT gate, I put here. Okay, so that means here, I not see here in the bottom diagram, you do not see. So if the first qubit means initially the qubit is 0, so here you put NOT gate. So what is your output? 1. In this control point, you get output 1. So that means the target qubit values change. So this time your 2-line output is 1 1. Okay, 2-line output is 1 1. You see in the probability graph, this 1 1 input is high. The probability of 1 1 qubit is high, but other qubits value is 0. Okay, now again I put in the second line, I put one more NOT gate. Okay, so fine. Now in the first line, my output is 1. That means this qubit values change. But what is the output of the NOT gate? Here you get output 1. Okay, just I show to you. Suppose that what I am doing in this experiment. Suppose that in this C0 gate, I put the X gate. X gate is a NOT gate. Okay, so here my initial qubit is 0. You get one qubit here, and after that you put a NOT gate. Okay, so if this control point is 1, that means this qubit is values change. So here you get 0 output. Okay, so what is my output? Output is 1 0. Okay, so now you check in the IBM quantum simulator software, your output is 1 0 or not? Yes, it is 1 0. So 1 0 output is 1. The probability is 100%. Okay, so now fine. I just delete all these things and I design to CC0 gate. Okay, CC0 gate is the Toffoli gate. Okay, I delete all the things. You also try parallelly. You also try. Then you are more familiar about the quantum composer lab. Okay, so in the CC0 gate, you know very well. I come to this point. There is a 3 qubit gate. So one more qubit is required. So you just click on the plus sign. So now your qubit is 3, Q0, Q1, and Q2. Okay, so okay, fine. So I just drag and drop now Toffoli gate here. Toffoli gate is a CC NOT gate. So I just drag and drop here. So now I drag and drop here. So now you define your input qubits. So I assume that my first qubit is 0 and second qubit is also 0 and my third qubit is also 0. Now we check the output. So you just measurement here, measurement option. So I also check the line 1 output. I also go to check the line 2 output, and I also go in the line 3 output. Okay, so fine. My first qubit is 0, second qubit is 0. That means third qubit is also not changed. That's why my output is 1 1 0 0 0. You see the 0 0 0 qubit probability is 100%. In the bottom side, the probability graph, this value is 1. Okay, so one very interesting case, if we put the NOT gate in my first line. So first line output is 1 because this is a NOT gate. Okay, so again I describe here what I am doing here. Okay, so this is a very simple, not a tough task. So in the C NOT gate, CC NOT gate, there is a 3 line. So first qubit is Q0, second qubit is Q1, and the third qubit is Q2. So this is my C NOT gate 2 control point, and this is a target qubit. You connect here. Okay, now my first qubit is 0, and this is also 0, and this is also 0. So I put one X gate. X gate is a NOT gate. Okay, so now in this control point, what is my output? 1. And in this control point, my output is 0 because here this line is not connected to any gate. So if you multiply here, your output is 0. So that means this qubit value is not changed. So your output is 1 0 0. So you check in the quantum lab, this is your output or not. This probability of 1 0 0 is high or not? That is correct. 1 0 0 probability is always 1. Okay, that is 100% probability. Now last case, I just put one more NOT gate in the second line. Okay, I not check the output. I just first manually calculate. Okay, first I just calculate the manually. Okay, so okay, fine. Here I put one more NOT gate. So here I put one more NOT gate. So this time this output is 1 because this is a NOT gate. Now if both the Q control point value is 1, that means this target value is changed. So this time 1, this output is 1. So what is your output? 1 1 1. Okay, your output is 1 1 1. Okay, so this is all the okay. So I think some voice problem. Okay, fine. Now we come to this point. Okay. So what I am going to try to discuss to you,
The
actually,
slide is not visible. Yeah, now
slide
it
is not
visible, sir.
visible.
Yeah,
Okay,
visible
fine.
now visible.
Okay, actually, what I am trying to discuss to you, I just discussed to you, if the control point is 1, then your target qubit is changed. So here you see here, if my first qubit value is 0, that means this NOT gate, this X gate means NOT gate. This is your NOT gate. So here you get output 1. So in the second line also there is a X gate. So X gate is the NOT gate. Okay, so initially qubit is 0. So in the second line you get the output 1. Okay, in the second line you get the output 1. So in the third line your qubit is 0. So if the control point, because here 2 control point, okay, there is a 2 control point. Okay, 2 control point. Okay, so in the 2 control point, if the 2 control point value is 1, that means this target value is changed. Okay, this target value is changed. So now here you get a 1 output. Okay, you get a 1 output. So same thing you also visualize in the IBM Composer software, Composer lab. So what is my output? 111. So okay, so you just see here your output is in the downside, the output 111, the probability is 1. Okay, 100%. That means this qubit proper output qubit probability is high. So this is a complete GUI based simulation. So you just drag and drop the components like 1 qubits or 2 qubits in your quantum line, and then you measure the output. So there is option. Suppose that you are not interested in the state vector, you just go in the line and you disable the state vector line. Okay, you just only see you are only interested in the probability graph. So this time only probability graph is visible. Now if sometime if you are not interested in the probability graph, you just disable. Okay, whatever your requirement, you just select here from in the view option. So if you are interested in probability graph, or you are interested in state vector, or you are interested in graphical editor, you just click on the then you're automatically in the downside, this all the visualization is visible in this downside. Okay, so this is the overview of the IBM Quantum Composer look. So many experiments are possible in this quantum composer. Many quantum circuits you have to design, and you do not worry about the quantum assembly language. Everything is changed based on your GUI. Okay, so 2 things I discussed to you. One thing I discussed to you, how to write the quantum assembly language, how to include your quantum library, and how to write the quantum assembly codes. And second thing I discussed to you, how to create a GUI. Okay, something I discussed to you means something I discussed to you, how to create a GUI like CNOT gate, because the CNOT gate is a 2 qubit gate, and in the CNOT gate you change your qubits and you measure the outputs. And similarly in the swap gate you also change your condition. See, swap gate is the Fredkin gate. Okay, and I already covered the CC0 gate, like a Toffoli gate. So this is the CC0 gate. And so in the Toffoli gate, oh, okay, that is visible in your screen. So in the Toffoli gate, you have to apply different conditions. Like in the first line, what is your qubit? In the second line, what is your qubit? And based on the qubits, you just do some measurement part. Okay, what is the measurement, or what is your expected output? Okay, so here I just select the probability graph, and I am not interested in the Q sphere. Q sphere is discuss the rotational part, and I also interested in the state vector diagram. So I just enable all these in the view option, and all these results are visible in the downside. Okay, this is a real-time simulator. Okay, so this is a general overview about this, and now we come to our next agenda is the, okay, many experiments are there. I will share the slide. You just go in the all slide and you just look. Okay, now we come to the QC approved software. I think many audience are visible to design a QCA circuits. So QCA is a quantum cellular automata. So in QCA software, QCA designing part, we are using the majority gate. Okay, based on the majority gate, you design the logical circuits, maybe your AND gate or not NAND gate or anything, it is possible. So first you generate the QCA file, okay, using the QCA designer software and using the QCA Pro software. So today my agenda is that how to check the parameters, means maybe your power consumption or average power or switching power. So we are using this software like a QCA Pro software. So what is the look of this software? Actually, this software is work on the Ubuntu. Okay, maybe 32-bit or maybe 64-bit. So there is no installation. You just copy this file. Okay, copy this file. Okay, so this is I just before going to this QCA Pro part, I just discussed to you QCA Designer. So can I ask you, audience, how many audience are familiar with the QCA Designer software? Okay, anyone can tell me you are familiar with QCA Designer? How to design a QCA circuits, and how to simulate, and what is the majority gate, and what is the bistable approximation or coherence engine, all these things you are familiar?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So I will not do this part. I only go to calculate the power dissipations. Okay, I am only discuss about this power dissipation, how it is possible. Okay, so this is a QCA designer. This is QCA designer software. In the QCA designer software, I use the majority gate. So in majority gate, we are using the this is your majority gate look. So one is your drive cell, and outer cell is your input or output pin. So this is my A input, this is my B input. So here I put the -1 polarization. Okay, so -1 means this is like a AND gate. Okay, so you know very well in a majority gate expression is AB plus BC plus AC. So my third input is means if you put polarization value is -1, that means your C value is 0. So C value is 0, both are cancelled, your output is AB. So this is your AND gate. Okay, so we know very well, this is your AND gate. And similarly, if the polarization value is +1, that means your C value is 1. Okay, so what is my output? AB plus BC, so B plus A. So you just take B common, A plus 1 plus A. So A plus 1 is 1. So A plus B, you get output A plus B. So that is nothing, that is OR gate. So that's why this majority logic is very, very useful to design any type of circuit, maybe AND gate or NOT gate. Okay, AND gate is nothing. If you get a AB output, you put one NOT gate, you get a NAND logic. Okay, NAND logic. Similarly, if you A plus B, if you form the A plus B, you put one NOT gate and you put a NOR gate. Okay, so same thing here. I use only this gate and I put the one cell here. So that is my NAND gate. So I select the 2.0.3 software version software. So I get all these parameters. What is my sample, number of samples, what is the tolerance value, is all these parameters I get here. Okay, after that I simulate our circuit. Okay, simulation means just check my outputs. Okay, if my input is 0, if my input is 0 0, so you expect a 1 output. So here my output is 1. That is correct. In second case, I put the combination is 0 1. So here you get output is okay. This is NAND gate. You get output in case of 1 0, your output is also 1. In case of 0 0, your output is also in case of 0 0, your output is 1. No, this is AND gate. This is 0. Gate means a whole bar. Okay, so both are multiply 0 0 0 1. That is correct. Okay, so this is all your expected output. Okay, so now I will actually what I am going to discuss the QCA Pro part. So in QCA Pro part, there is a three-step process. Process. Okay, so the first step is you have to design the circuit in QCA Designer software. Design the NAND gate. Okay, and you save this file in .qca format. Okay, this is your first step. Step number 1. So in the step number 2, you create a table that is a switching table. So in switching table, how many inputs are there? 4 inputs are there. Okay, this is just a truth table. This is just a truth table. Okay, so switching table is only for the truth table. Okay, I just define only inputs. Okay, in the switching set. Now in the third step, okay, second step is the you just create a switching set table. Okay, switching set table. And in the third step, you create a vector set table. Okay, vector set table. So in the vector set table, both input and output you define. Suppose that this is my all inputs. Okay, this is actually a CNOT gate. Okay, so okay, this is not possible. So this is not required here. What is my okay, 3? Okay, this is not required here. So this is my all inputs. So I written here, this is my input and this is my output. Okay, this is my all outputs. So in the third step, you create a vector table. Okay, so in the QCA Pro, what I am doing, I generate a thermal layout. Okay, I generate a thermal layout, and I also generate the thermal dissipation. Okay, in the Pro software. So this diagram is for the thermal layout. Okay, so you just see this is all your majority gate. Okay, this is your 3 input majority gate. Okay, 3 input majority gate, and this is the NOT gate. Okay, this is only NOT gate. Okay, so this is the color coding. Actually here, if you go from higher to lower to higher, so black color represent the high dissipation. That represent the high value, and this represent the low value. So some blue colors are there. So this creates more power. Okay, so this is a thermal layout. So same thing here in the power dissipation graph. This is the colors consume more power. Okay, and this is the main drawback in or something not a good property in your circuit. Okay, so how is possible, and after that you get some results. So most of the power we are calculating 0.5 kink energy. Okay, and level in this 3 level you get all these parameters. Okay, you get all these parameters like your maximum kink energy dissipation of your circuit, and maximum energy dissipation or maximum energy dissipation of overall circuits, and the maximum energy dissipation of all the cells. Okay, and minimum energy dissipation vector, and here you get also the leakage energy dissipation. Okay, switching energy dissipation, everything you get from the QCA Pro. So I just select 0.5, and then you select the 1 EK, you get all these parameters. And then you select 1.5, you get all these parameters. Okay, so now how to proceed this one? Okay, so I just now discuss now this part. Okay, so fine. I just okay, I just open our Ubuntu software. Okay, so first thing, you have to design the circuit in the QC designer, and you save this file in .qc form. And after that, you create two tables. One is your vector table, okay, and another is your switching table. So switching table means you define only inputs, okay, only input. And after, in the vector table, in vector table you define both both input and output. So suppose that in case of NAND gate, your input is AB, your output is Y. So in NAND gate, your output is 1. Okay, so I created a two table. Okay, one is my switching table, another is my vector table. Again, I repeat this point. The switching table, you define only inputs, and in vector table, this QC file is 2 point something version. Otherwise, this software will not support. Okay, so I already created the file. This is my QC file of NAND gate. Okay, you are very much familiar about the NAND gate. So just open terminal. This is open terminal command is there in, okay. And here you just write the command. Okay, this is a command /QCA Pro .64 version 1.0. Okay, and just enter. Now this is your QCA Pro software. Okay, so here there is some inputs. Okay, there is some inputs, so you have to properly apply all the inputs. So browse this file here. Okay, next, third line is your switching vector. Okay, switching set vector. So in the switching set vector, you only define the inputs. So in my AND gate, there is a two inputs, A and B. So there is a 4 possibility, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, and 1, 1. So that is already that combinations possible combinations I already written in the switching vector tables, and I select the switching set vector and I open here, maybe whatever condition, and 5. So if you select some value, suppose that I selected here 0.5, so get results, some results like your thermal layout, your your polarization curve, and also power dissipation curve. And if you change this value to 1, your parameter is maybe change. then its parameter is also changed, and then 1.5. Okay, you just see here after some time. After that, your output directory. Okay. Output directory is the directory in which you save your output. Because output means you have to calculate some parameters. Okay, code out output. So all the output I save in this directory. Okay, so all my inputs I already in this QC Pro tool.
Hello? Hello, Neeraj, you there? Hello? Hello? Yes, I am looking for that. Please wait. I think there must be some connection error with him. I could not connect even on his mobile phone. Let us wait for another 2-3 minutes and conclude this session. हाँ यही